Hi YouTube, welcome back to another video from Wtf Rc Cars. This one is for the G11P and the FS-R4B. I think it's that one. Small 4-channel receiver, so let's bring in for a close-up look and see how we connect this one. So for this one we're going to be using the Monster Beetle. So this is our little FS-R4B receiver. We've got our steering servo plugged into channel 1. We've got the ESC plugged into channel 2, and then that leaves us channel 3 and 4. It's a nice small receiver. We've got an antenna on it as well, so we should get decent range. So first thing we need to do is get the transmitter set up, so let's bring that in. So we're going to need to change to a new model. So let's go into model select. We switched into model number 6. So once we've got that, we can come out. We can look at as RX. We've got as failsafe. So I'm going to change that to no output because it's all electric. Got as bind set. So for this one, again, it's going to be a one-way. So put it into one-way bind. We can leave it as routine or fast, doesn't make any difference. PWM and iBus, servos. This should be fine to run as digital. So once we've got our transmitter set up and ready to bind, we can turn on. Should see his receiver flashing quickly. We can go into bind mode. Once you've been in bind mode for a few seconds, back out, you'll see the light go solid. Then we can move on to set up our actual steering and everything. So all you've got to remember is get this ready. It needs to be in one way. Get your transmitter ready to bind. Turn on your power. And if we look now, if you make sure that your transmitter is on first, as soon as you turn this on, it'll bind instantly to it. What you'll notice is if we turn this off, shutting down. So there's no transmitter on. When you turn it on, it'll go into bind mode straight away. It's flashing fast. So if you do want to rebind it, make sure that the transmitter isn't on, because if it is on and it's already bound, you see it doesn't go into bind mode, it instantly connects. So it's instantly connected, whereas if the transmitter is off, so always make sure your transmitter is on and selected to the correct channel, because if it doesn't see a transmitter bound to it, it'll enter bind mode. Now you can turn transmitter on afterwards, but see how it took a few seconds before it connected? If your transmitter is on and the correct model's selected first, it'll bind straight away. So once we've got it bound, let's bring you back to transmitter and show you how we can set everything else up. Right, so once we've got it bound, you can go into model if you want and you can name it. So we can come into the model memory name and we can give it a name. So quickly do that. So once you've named it, it'll be named at top. I've unplugged the fan because it gets really annoying. So as basic settings, we need to make sure steering's going the correct way, which on this it is. As throttle, yep, we've got forward and we've got reverse and brake. So they don't need reversing. If they did, you can come in here and just reverse either one. So if we reverse the steering, you can see it now turns wrong way. Correct it, it turns correct way. What I would do first is the sub trim. So your throttle should stay as normal. Your steering you may want to play around with your sub trim if it's not perfectly straight. So if it wasn't, you can correct it in here. Luckily on this one it's set up pretty good, so it looks like we don't need any sub trim on this. Endpoints, so we can come in, and if we turn left we can see it's slightly trying to oversteer. So what we can do is come on as endpoint and we can just back that off. And then we can flick over to the right hand side and we can see, same on that, it's slightly oversteering. Basically you just want to bring your steering down till you can hear your servo saver not struggling, and then if you lift up the RC you can see this is still struggling a tiny bit. So I can bring that down a bit more. And you basically want it so your steering actually stops when it's at full travel, and that way you're not overstressing your servo. You don't need to set your endpoints on throttle, although if you wanted to, so if you wanted to pass this to a more inexperienced RC driver, you can back down the reverse by doing the back and the forward. You could restrict the throttle, so you could do that and restrict your throttle down. So that's actually 100% throttle, but it's only 18%, so you can use your endpoints for that. But as a rule, your throttle and brake want to be set to 100%. Depending on your speed controller, you might want to run calibration on your speed controller now to make sure that it's exactly what you need on the transmitter. But that's the basics of setting it up. We should now have as Monster Beetle, full throttle, brake and reverse, and the correct amount of steering without overstressing the servo at either end. And that is the FS-R4B receiver. You can see it's quite small, ideal for the Tamiya RCs. We do have an antenna as well, so you get pretty decent range on it, and you do have a full 4 channels. It is only a one-way transmit receiver, so you're not going to get any telemetry back from it, and it doesn't have any BVD ports or anything like that. You've just got the basic 4 channels, but for most of the Tamiya style RCs, or Tamiya, depending how you want to pronounce it, but for most of them RCs, 4 channels is going to be absolutely plenty. If you'd got a lighting kit on this, you could plug it into channel 3, you could go in and assign it in the auxiliary to a button or a switch, and then you can turn your headlights on and off and things like that. And if you're wondering what else we've done to this, we've got, I believe this is a 3930 kV motor, and we've got the MIP diff full ball race kit, but other than that it's pretty stock. But yeah, it's a nice fun little RC to drive, this one. The MIP diff works fantastic in it. That sounds like a Traxxas servo. I've got to have a look. Not sure what it is servo wise in it. It sounds like it's a Traxxas plastic geared thing. It does look like it. Guessing it's out of the Slash or something like that. The Slash Ultimate maybe. But yeah, it does work. And it's a really nice little receiver and transmitter setup. So let's wrap this one up. So there you have it, the FS-R4B, little one-way bind receiver, 4 channels. Has got the auto bind mode, so when you power it up and no other transmitters bound to it, it will automatically go into bind mode, and it works really well with the G11P. So thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you find this useful, entertaining, or a bit of both, so don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.